webinars know that this has been a team effort, and this slide shows all of the folks who have worked together to create the LearnOn website and the webinars and the resources that you have been able to take advantage of, and hopefully will continue to take advantage of those things. Some webinar norms. Your chat, your microphone, and your camera have been disabled because of protecting bandwidth. However, the Q&A box, the question and answer box at the bottom of your screen. Okay, hold on. Apparently I'm not sharing. Let me try again. I'm still here. Can you see it now?
Becky, we still can't see it, but if it's okay, Nicole said she could share her screen and just go through it for you.
Okay. Sorry about that, folks. Technical difficulties. I was not initially supposed to be hosting this webinar, and I think something happened in our in-between time. So the Zoom webinar meeting norms. As I said, your chat, your microphone, and camera have been disabled. The question and answer box is at the bottom of the page. If you have questions, someone is in the background helping out with that. And if you need to let us know, you can raise your hand so that we can open your microphone for you. At the end, you will get your Act 48 credit, so please take advantage of that. If you are from outside of Pennsylvania, we're certainly happy to have you here with us. Please stay with us, join us, and feel free to be part of what we're doing. Act 48 credit, as I said, will be available for you at the end. We have a webinar archive, and our resource site is learnon.iu12.org. As we're thinking about online learning, please continue to think about your continuity of education plan that's in place in your district. Whatever your district is expecting for you to do, that's what you should do. You also need to be considering free, appropriate public education to ensure that all learners, students who have IEPs, students who might need additional supports, are getting what they need to access the learning that is taking place in this new environment. As you're thinking additionally about best practices for online learning, you'll see the bit.ly at the bottom of this slide, which is being shared with you. Less is more, so make sure you're prioritizing what you need to really be focusing on. It's a helpful thing for everyone to see your face. So you're getting to share my office space with me today. Considering limiting the length, no more than 6 minutes, even less is okay. Make sure that you're clear with your objectives and expectations, how much time you're going to need for the students to complete the task, and then make sure you're organizing and sequencing things appropriately. Okay. So outcomes specifically for today, we are looking at reviewing some tools for math instruction. And I've also included Matt's email on this slide. Matt McLaughlin was supposed to be hosting today, but he had to be working with the district at this time. So his email is specific for you if you have questions that he can certainly answer. But Nicole's here and hopefully some other folks if I get stuck. Okay, the first resource we have for you is the ability to turn your computer and your iPhone into a document camera. You will need both of these. You'll need to download Visualize on your computer and the Doc Cam on your iPhone. But once that's happened, you will have access to both, and they are both right here on the same screen. There's the visualizer that would be for your computer, and if you scroll down on that same page, it's there somewhere. Matt showed it to me this morning. There it is, the Doc Cam for your smartphone.
Just a side note on using that, please make sure if you do use the Doc Cam with the two apps that you want to make sure that you're on the same Wi-Fi network. So they should be on the same network when you use them, and then it should go really smoothly.
Thanks, Nicole. Whiteboards are something that we've seen people in their showers using them as whiteboards. Probably not the best way to have students engaged. Jamboards is available through Google, but you might need to check with your tech folks to see if they can be enabled, if that's something that your tech folks feel comfortable using. And there is an example. And then Google Draw is the other opportunity that you have. So you can, this is Jamboard, so you can write, you can insert documents, you can add images. So there are lots of opportunities for you to engage using the whiteboards. And this is Google Draw. So you could put in equations, arrows, shapes, a lot of the tools with which you're already familiar if you're using Google Docs, to be able to put things in a whiteboard format. You can also add text boxes to give the directions. The simulations, Nicole, if you'll do the example for Desmos. Desmos is a graphing calculator app, but if you go to the example, it will pull up for you a lot of the different opportunities or already created sources for you that you could use. This is mostly a 5th or 6th grade through 12th grade app. But there are certainly tools on here that you can either use with your tablet or your laptop, ways that you can engage in a variety of different activities. This teacher guide is a nice way for you to really think through how you want to present what you're sharing with your students ahead of time, so that you are focusing on being clear and concise, having your objectives ready to go. The other resource on the simulations page is PhET simulations. And again, if you go to the example is also showing some graphing. If you do the explore, you can see that you can move these pictures at the bottom. If you put them in the picture, then it automatically shows the elevation on the left-hand side using both a number line and labels. So lots of things that students can actually use and interact with using these PhET simulations. I love that the penguin goes from flying to swimming as he's moving about. Nicole, anything else for PhET simulations that you are aware of that we should share?
I do know a lot of the PhET simulations clearly identify whether they're Java or not. So if you're dealing with iPads when you go in, just make sure that it's definitely, see if it's Java based and keep that in mind if you're an iPad user. Additionally, there's a lot of PhET simulations that go beyond math. So any of you who might also teach science or know somebody who's looking for science simulations, it's a great resource for replacing labs too.
Thank you. Okay, then annotations. With annotations, Kami is something I'm just starting to learn a little bit more about. Right now, there is a 180-day free trial available for teachers. So you can go in and create an account that you can, it actually has a text-to-speech feature. So a wonderful resource for students who might need to have the text read to them. Also, you can, within this site, you can underline, you can add text boxes. It's a way for you to comment on student work that has already been done. So there's lots of, this is just the home page that you're seeing, but really good information on Kami. And then Google Drawings and Google Doc comments. Again, as you've seen us access those things, I think those are pretty self-explanatory if you've had some time to work in Google a little bit. The videos, Khan Academy has a large number of videos that you can access on a variety of topics, not just math, but a variety of resources. So anything you think you need to know more about, you can access through the Khan Academy, by grade level, by topic. That's a great tool to use for either review or enrichment, depending on what your continuity of education plan is. Screencastify is, again, a video tool. And I believe, if I'm correct, this is a way for you to actually make videos that you can then share with your students.
So what I would do if I were using Screencastify, I'm just going to jump in here, Becky.
Please do.
What I would do is honestly use the tool, and I do have it up here in my upper corner. It's a nice little add-on. Now it does have a limit of 5 minutes. I may or may not be paying for the unlimited because I do a lot of screencasting. So the limit is 5 minutes, but it uploads directly to YouTube, or you can link it directly to Google Classroom for those of you who use either. What I would do is use Screencastify. So I would set up and record, keep my webcam on, and do it in a Jamboard or in the Google Drawings so that I'm walking students through how to do the assignment. Or even going back and using that document camera setting that we were talking about at the beginning, so that I was using that and screencasting it. The nice thing about a screencast that's different from going synchronous like we're going right now is the fact that your students can pause it and rewind it and rewatch it. So when there's a step that they miss, especially in mathematics, it's really useful from that perspective as well.
Excellent, thank you. Sarah Powell, PhD, she has so many resources available to her. She has really focused on looking at procedural fluency and conceptual development, all of the good connected skills that we would be thinking about through NCTM. Word problems are on here, lots of bit.lys, lots of videos. You have, again, you can look by what you're teaching, think about how you want to address it, and access that site. That's a free site. Again, all of these tools are available for you. And then on the Patan site or Patton site, depending on where you're from and how you say it, they have done a series of webinars focusing on the CRA, the concrete, representational, and abstract levels of mathematics. And those are all available if you go to the Patan website. So you can access all of those for free as well. Checking work, PhotoMath has the opportunity for you to see the steps or share the steps with a student to solve problems. I would suggest that this might be a good tool for teachers to use, but not necessarily one you would want to share out with students, because it will do all of the steps for the student. So if you're wanting to build procedural fluency, that's a good way to show how the problems are solved. But we want to make sure that the students are doing their own work. You can do some annotations in this format as well. And it's also individualized. You can focus on individualization. The Wolfram Alpha website, when I first looked at it, I kind of got overwhelmed. But what I liked about it is lots of content areas: math, science, society and culture, everyday life. And then if you go into one of the areas, the nice thing about the Wolfram Alpha, even though it is a search engine, it will show you multiple representations of an answer. So if you're looking for the ways students are thinking through something, this will show you a multitude of ways that an answer can be resolved. And again, this is for kindergarten through 12th grade. So there's elementary as well as secondary math available from Wolfram Alpha. Some assessment resources. Again, these are a variety that Matt has shared in several of his math webinars. Flipgrid is an opportunity for students to, again, interact with the teacher as they're working. Google Forms, Google Slides. Google Slides is what we're doing right now, so that's like a PowerPoint. The Jamboards, which Nicole has already shared. Rocketbook, there are free pages and there's an app available. Go Formative, obviously looking at formative assessments, not just the summative end of it. And the Quizlet, also just to do quick assessments, where we were talking this morning in a group chat about whether teachers are assessing or how they're assessing. That's something that individual districts are working on right now. So this gives you some tools that you can use as we're looking at assessments. And then our final slide is about the manipulatives that are available. Online manipulatives. As an early childhood person, I really encourage you to think about providing those manipulatives to all your learners, not just the youngest learners, but everyone who might need to have the opportunity to think through. Here, there are some hundreds grids, multiplication charts, different graphs that are supporting all learners. Again, as we're thinking about free, appropriate public education, what tools are we making sure that students have access to? So that particular slide has a variety of manipulatives available for you. So again, here is our LearnOn website. We are extending our webinars for another week starting next Tuesday. So you will be able to find some additional offerings beyond what we have scheduled for this week. And don't forget to please take advantage of filling out the evaluation form. We appreciate getting that feedback from you. And also, don't forget to fill out your Act 48 form so that you get credit for participating in today's webinar. Do we have any questions that have come up? Nicole has put the forms in the sharing for everyone. And again, I apologize for the technical error, but as we all have to do right now, we have to be flexible, and I hope that you were able to get something worthwhile from today's session. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.